Good evening, my all. Hope y'all are doing well. I could be better. So this video is about my 2026 Volvo VNL, but I struck a deer last night. Yep, my brand new truck, not even 10,000 miles, like 2 days shy of being a month old, already got its first deer strike. So I'll show you that on the exterior part, which will probably be a separate video, just so you can watch the interior and exterior separately if you want. So there you go. So yeah, this video is about my interior of my 2026 Volvo VNL 860 with Stan Cook and Sons Trucking. So here we go. So I'm going to start right here at the center console. Right there. So you got your infotainment screen, HVAC controls and radio controls, and then all the switches that whatever you or your carrier spec your truck with. Like we have lane departure. I think I always forget what the A is. You'd think as long as I've been driving I'd remember, but I always forget the A. Air slide fifth wheel, air release fifth wheel, traction control, air drop, and then auxiliary switch for one of my two back porch lights or rear lights, whatever you want to call them, loading lights. I call them porch lights. And that switch is inactive. It's for beacons for our boat division. I am not in a boat division, so I don't have the strobies. And then that is our backup camera switch, on and off. And then there's the diff lock. And then there is the new trailer and tractor brakes. Instead of the pull knobs, it's now, these switches, which, I do miss but I don't mind the switches either. I'm not bothered. And then we have here the emergency brake, and then two USB-C ports, which that's all this truck has. It has the USB-Cs and then your 12 volts. There's no standard USB. I'm not sure why, but yeah. And then this switch here is for the windshield defrost, and yes, you heard me correctly, windshield defrost. As you can see it there along the edges, right there. Yep. So I am looking forward to trying that out. Well, kind of, right? So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's only taken this long for us to have windshield defrost along those edges. How many times have truckers requested that? I mean, like, seriously, finally someone's done it. And then over here you got your key switch, and then some more buttons. You got your headlights and lights off, parking lights or markers, whatever you want to call them, headlights, and then auto lights, and then that is your dash dim. And then this button here is for your pre-trip and post-trip lighting checks. That's our switch for our second set of porch lights, which I'll show you. And then that button there is for when you have the parking system on for your HVAC. You can have the lights dimmed or on. And then this here is the button for the parking system, the parked HVAC and all that. I don't know the technical term, but as you see, I got mine on right now. And then the steering wheel. It's a pretty nice steering wheel. It's pretty solid. It's really nice. And then air horn, city horn. Sounds like a forklift, don't it? Yes, I know I'm a child. Can't help it. And then cruise control. We're right here. Resume, set, off, on. And then I think that is something to do with this button. It's like when you're going downhill, you can set your cruise to not go over certain speed. I haven't played with this yet. That's what I just read, I think it was. And then audio controls there, and then more audio controls there and phone, and then your dash dash controls like menu, music, and all that, back button, home screen, up, down, and all that. And then here is your transmission stalk. I think that's a technical term they call these, is a stalk. Drive, neutral, reverse, pull forward, push back for manual. And then your A1, 2, 3, and B for the engine brake, which, from what I've been told on the 2026 Volvo, it's a combination of a compression and exhaust brake, which that's kind of cool. And yes, it does work. And yes, it is better than the 25 and older VNLs. It will, even on stage 1, it's improved. I'll tell you that. It has improved versus the 25 and older VNLs. So the combination of the brake, of the combination of the compression and exhaust, it works pretty good. I gotta give it that. So, and don't pay attention to that. That just means my brakes are set. That's the parking light. Parking brakes are on. Or off, however you want to word it. There's the digital dash. Yeah, I'm telling you that my engine auto start has disabled because I turned the key on. Boop. So, there you go. That's the screen I use. And then you have that screen. I like this one better. I would prefer this one, but I like having the digital speedometer, so I use this one over this one. But yeah. And I can't customize it. I don't know if that's the Volvo thing or if it's a Cook thing where we can't customize how we do things or not, but I don't know. But I can't change things. All I can do is go up, down, and I have that and I have that, and that's it. And then I have GPS in the dash, which I assume that goes through the infotainment center, Bluetooth and all that, which I haven't used that, so I can't tell you how that works. And then that, and then back to that. So yeah, that's all I got. So I've driven a new Kenworth next gen, and I know there's a lot more options. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know if this is a Volvo thing or if it's how Cook spec'd it, so we don't play around with shit, which is understandable. And then you got the stock over here, which is your left turn signal, right turn signal, high beams, and then of course washer, your bug juice squirter, and then your wiper blades. Now, turn the key off. And then we'll move on up here. So, there's the passenger side. There's that massive, massive dash, which I'll show you actually how big that dash is when we get outside. But if you have a cat or cats, they will love this dash. It is massive, I'm telling you. You can see Wolfie up there, but look at all that space. That dash is massive. And if you're one of them pack rats that throw shit up there, oh, y'all will be in heaven. Or if you have cats, you too will be, y'all will be in heaven. So there's the driver's side from far back. I think it's well laid out for the most part. I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. Then the driver's door over there. And then your standard switches, window up, down, power, power locks, power windows, heated mirrors. And then up here, you got them two cabinets, or cubbies, whatever you'd want to call them. So, and then this one here, I just got a safety vest and a spare bottle of shampoo, some trash bags, grocery bags. Then up there is my vacuum parts, and my box of crackers, which I could not find and it's driving me crazy, but now I found them. So, and then you got your top cubbies up here. Okay. This one over here is basically my medicine cabinet, and then I got my Rand McNally Bluetooth, and then my cigarettes. don't smoke, kids. Seriously, don't. Just don't. But yeah, I got paper towel up here, and then my clean rags, and then my other speaker for my headset. And then over here we got these cubbies. And this is one reason why I wanted to wait until I got moved in, so that way you guys can kind of scale the size of them. They are pretty nice. You can fit stuff in here. I mean, you can. Look at that. I got Windex. I got Armor All. I got my cups and some random bits. Peroxide. Some mean green, and it's roomy. It's not too bad. And then here is passenger side. You got storage up there, which I have one of my book bags is up there. And then you got this cabinet here, which is a mess, but I'll show you anyway. So yeah, you can cram, I wouldn't say a lot in here, but again, you can. Yep. So kind of showing you there. And then microwave, that is a 900 watt, I believe. So if you have an 1100 watt, you might, it should squeeze in there. You might be able to fit an 1100, but mine's a 900. And then down here you got TV mount, and then 2 household plugs, and then 1 12-volt plug. Right now I'm using my TV mount for my fan, because I don't have anywhere else to put my fan, and I don't have a TV for the truck yet. There's the top bunk, and the ultimate trim interior. You get the really nice mattress, and this is the top bunk, and you still get that really Tempur-Pedic style mattress. There's the bottom bunk. Which I have that, which is actually a little bit better mattress down here, and I'll show you right quick. There's the mattress, as you see. Very posh, and yes, it is comfortable. Like, I haven't slept this good since I've got this truck. Since I've had this truck, I have slept like a baby pretty much every night. And then your HVAC controls back here in the bunk, and then lighting, some storage, and then you got another 12-volt, and then 2 more micro USB looking things, and then you got this cubby here, cubby there, little cubby there. You can't fit magazines in there, unless you stand up straightways. So I don't know what you want to put in there, like, I don't know, little notebooks or your phone maybe. And then over here, another cabinet and storage up top. Over here I have my shower bag, and then I'll show you this cabinet. That's my shorty shorts and socks and all that drawer or cabinet with my cook hat. Gotta represent cook. And yes, it is pronounced cook, for those that are wondering. Not cock or coach or cook, C-O-O-K. Then you got this up here, which I really like this. I can, make food, just do random shit up here, I like it. And you got a cup holder. Let me turn the light on for you. Then you got that little shelf up here, which is perfect for when you're, charging shit like I am. I got my Beats charging, I got my iPad charging, and then you got 1 12-volt receptacle, and then another set of USB-Cs, and then 2 more households. And then down here, for me, this is my closet. I got my clothes in there. It's pretty good size. Got my clothes, my jeans, and my raincoat. Only thing I don't like about this door is I wish there was like a magazine rack on it, but nobody can be perfect, you know. But to be fair, there is one back here. Let me see if I can show you without moving all kinds of crap. But yeah, you can't see it, but there is one there. I apologize, but yeah, it's there. Trust me. So swing back around over here. Uh-oh, battery's only got 12%. Better hurry. So, and then pull out disc. And then a drawer. Well, let me see where I keep my personal bits. Fridge, which I will show you that. So there you go. And that bottom drawer, I have 12 cans. And you see that second shelf there, that top shelf. And then you got over here, more Mountain Dew. And then a half gallon of mood juice and a half gallon of chocolate mood juice or milk. And don't judge my diet, you know. That's what I drink. Mountain Dew and milk. And yes, water. You know, some truckers have coffee. I got the dubage, so. And there's the freezer, which is not very big, to be honest. I've got 8 sausage, egg, and cheese croissants in there, and that's about all you can fit it. You know, you might be able to squeeze some burger pat. You can squeeze some burger patties in there if you want, but yeah, I wish that was just a little bit bigger. Like here, or maybe this whole thing and get rid of this. But I get it. They try to design these things to give people space. Some people want more freezer, some people want more fridge, so you can't please everybody, right? But Volvo's done a pretty good job, I think. But yeah, there you go, y'all. So my battery's about to die, so I'm going to charge my phone for a bit, and then I will do the exterior video, and I will get that posted for y'all. So I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions about the Volvo, let me know, and I will answer them. But yeah, hope y'all have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.